Hello and welcome to FPL Mates, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. My name is Dan and today we have got for you my team selection video for blank game week 29. The time has come. The big blank game week. It's going to be a little bit of a nightmare for a lot of people, but for other people, chaos is a ladder, and that's exactly what we're going to hope to do today. Hopefully going to optimise my team to get myself in a really good position for Game Week 29. I'm feeling pretty confident about this one. I've got some transfer planned. I'll tell you what, guys, I've got 3 transfers planned for the first time this season. It's basically like a mini wild card at this point because I'm going to be making 3 transfers. I'm going to be talking you through them. And we're also going to review my scores from last game week. How did I get on in game week 28? Because it was a bit of a mixed one for a lot of people, wasn't it? Some people were not too happy with their scores. There was a lot of blanks amongst the big players, but we'll talk about that in a second. But just before we do, a quick word from our sponsors today. And our sponsors are, of course, OneFootball. Now, for those of you who don't know what OneFootball is, it's a great app/website for all things football. I personally use the OneFootball mobile app. I'm going to be using it all throughout, checking out the international fixtures coming up. I'm going to be using it because I'm not going to watch every single international game, but I do want to see who's scoring in these international games, who's assisting, who's doing well, who are players to keep an eye on, not just for fantasy, but also for the Euros coming up in the summer, because I'm really looking forward to the Euros and playing Euro fantasy. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on some of these European matches scores particularly. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. It's completely free. Check out the link in my description. Definitely recommend it for you guys. So here we are with my Game Week 28 scores. Now, you're probably noticing that I'm playing a 5-3-2 formation. No, I definitely did not intend on playing a 5-3-2 formation, but this is just something that kind of was forced upon me. KDB didn't play. Gundogan didn't play. Kind of a little bit disappointed in that regard because KDB was going to be my captain. I was hoping for not necessarily massive things, but when we look at the scoreline now, Man City beating Fulham 3-0, probably would have said, yeah, maybe it would have got some returns. And considering none of the other captain options return, you know, Kane didn't return, Bruno didn't return, Salah didn't return. Those were the popular picks. None of them returned. In fact, no one remotely popular returned as captains. I think Vardy was the most popular captain that actually returned in Game Week 28. So it wasn't a good week for captains. I did say, to be fair, last week that there's no standout captain option. But I do feel like KDB, if he was playing, would have got me a few points. But never mind, wasn't to happen. Gundogan wasn't to happen either, which has left me with this weird formation. But 51 points, considering my captain was benched, Gundogan was benched, and I didn't have John Stones, who pretty much the game week defining player. It kind of is a case of the haves and the have-nots with John Stones. If you have John Stones, you probably had an all-right score. If you didn't have John Stones, you probably didn't have such a good score. So considering all of these factors that kind of, a little bit random, maybe you can say John Stones starting and scoring isn't random. You know, he does score occasionally. He pops up like that, doesn't he? I think I did okay. I actually think I did okay. So I've actually gone up almost 10,000 places, which is okay. It's not a world-beating, mind-blowing game week by any stretch of the imaginations, but considering the circumstances, I'm actually pretty happy. The few bad points really were kind of Son, disappointing. Yeah, really a little bit annoying there. The fact that he's been injured now, and it looks like a not very good injury either, so he could be out for a little while. We're not sure. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Bamford picking up a knock. Kind of a little bit frustrating, but I don't think that's such a worry. Lewis Dunk, good point. Definitely a good point there. So Lewis Dunk absolutely smashing it. Very glad I brought him in a couple of weeks ago because I really wanted him for Game Week 29 in particular, but the fact that he's returned with a goal during the time between me bringing him in and, you know, him playing in this Game Week 29, which I'm targeting, is a really, really nice thing to see. It's a really nice thing. And, of course, Salah, really disappointing again. Man, how much patience can we have with Salah? I mean, I ran out of patience with him weeks ago, but just haven't found the right moment, the right move to take him out. I think we might be getting onto that soon, guys. Don't you worry about that. So, that's how we got on in Game Week 28. And let me show you how I plan to conquer Game Week 29. It's a big blank, but I'm not worried. We're going to smash it, guys. Come on, let's go. So I'm just going to throw on all of the players I have on the pitch, and then we'll talk about transfers, because there's going to be 3 transfers. And I'll tell you who's getting transferred out as well as we go through, so we don't spend too much time talking about them. But let's start off in goal with Martinez. Pretty easy choice. He's the only goalkeeper I have that can even play in this game week. I'm not making any particular transfers to take Martinez in out. Although I don't think he's the best goalkeeper for this particular game week, I would prefer to have sort of Areola, Sanchez at Brighton. Those would probably be preferable options in goal. But, you know, I've got Martinez. He's going to have to do, whether he gets me 1 point, 2 points, 3 points with a couple of saves. Who knows? But I've got him. He's here. Next up, Lewis Dunk, who is someone I am actually really excited about for this game week. So I have been targeting this fixture. This is one of the fixtures I've been targeting because when I looked at the fixtures for this game week, they're not really good. And I've said this for a long time. Even if, you know, everyone could get 11 players on the pitch, still wouldn't be a very high scoring game week because there's no standout fixtures really. And if there is a standout fixture, I think it could be Brighton versus Newcastle. Now, the reason why I really like Lewis Dunk for this game week is because Newcastle concede a lot of headed chances and Lewis Dunk scores a lot of headed chances. So it's a kind of a match made in heaven. It really is, it kind of in that regard. So if Lewis Dunk can get a couple of headed opportunities, which we expect he will, you know, Newcastle conceding sort of 4 headed chances per game. That's a lot. You know, I do fancy Dunk to kind of put one away. That's exciting to me. I really do feel like that. So let's see what he can do there. But yes, fingers crossed for a headed goal. Yeah, he's going to be one of the highest scoring players of the game week. If I had to guess, obviously no one knows exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be a bit random. We all know that. But Dunk is someone I am rating for this game week for sure. Moving on into Ben Mee, who's not going to play. He's going to be one of the players I transferred out. I'm just going to put him there for now so we can replace him in a second. And then Ben White completes the midfield there again against Newcastle. With Ben White, I'm more hoping for you know, a clean sheet for Brighton, but you never know. Ben White could get a headed opportunity as well. So I've kind of got the 2 centre-backs there, or the 2 of the main centre-backs I get, who do have these opportunities to score headed goals. And let's see what can happen there. You never know. Ben White might be able to get something as well. You know, if there's a clean sheet there, then I've got Dunk and White both getting 6 points without doing anything really. Then we throw in bonus points, we throw in potential goals. You never know. Dunk, the more likely one of the 2. And then we're starting to actually build quite a nice score in a game week where, you know, 12 points for 2 clean sheets is going to be quite valuable this game week. So honestly, I think the average score of this game week is not going to be any more than like 30. So if you can get halfway there just from clean sheets, then you're pretty happy, aren't you? So let's move on to midfield. We've got Salah in here. He is going to be removed. There's no surprise there. I've been talking about removing him for a little while. I think now is the right time with 2 free transfers. You can probably guess who Salah is going to swap to in terms of which premium I'm going to bring into my team. KDB is here. He is actually going to stay, but he's not going to play. So he's staying, but he's not playing. So I do want to keep him in my team because I do really rate him. He is looking really fantastic since he's, you know, at the start when he first came back from injury, it was kind of like, oh, maybe a little bit of a slow start. Is he going to be the same? Even before his injury, he wasn't quite putting out the numbers that we hoped that he would. Now I am getting increasingly confident with KDB, and I do want him after the blank, at least for that 1 game week before I wildcard. Because guys, you may know I'm wildcarding in game week 31. Moving on to Son. Son is a real concern. I think 99% chance that Son doesn't play. So I really don't think he's going to play in this game week. But you know what? I'm going to leave him in there anyway because, well, for the 1% chance that I'm not counting on at all. But also because there is now like sort of 2.5 weeks now until game week 30, because this international break breaks up the game weeks. We've got a few game weeks for Son to recover. Now, he has got a muscle injury, a hamstring injury. These take a couple of weeks to repair. Son is kind of a quick repairer. I don't think he's going to be ready for this game week at all. I really don't think so. I don't think he's going to be ready to play for Korea in the international break. I don't think he's going to be playing there either. But there is a slim chance that he does play in game week 30. I say slim. Actually, probably a pretty decent chance of him playing in game week 30. And that's a fixture against Newcastle, which is a good fixture to target right now. So although I'm not expecting a lot from Son in this particular game week, I'm talking about game week 30. What's going to happen in game week 30? That's what I'm targeting. I would rather have Son in game week 30 than Salah or KDB maybe in game week 30. You know, Salah is the easiest player to remove from this midfield when I'm talking about taking him out a premium. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. There's no real doubts in my mind about that. And we'll keep Son ready for Newcastle in the hopes that he's fit. But you know, I don't have to think too far after that because I'm wildcarding in game week 31 anyway. So let's complete the midfield with Rafinha. He's playing against Fulham. Fulham, a tough game. Leeds, a good attack, but maybe sort of faltering a little bit recently. But Rafinha is still, you would say he still looks majestic on the pitch every time he plays. He's quickly becoming one of my favourite players in the Premier League because I just think he's absolutely awesome. Like, he's going to get a big move in the summer. I really do feel strongly about that. He's just doing so well. So I'm really, you know, again, Fulham, not an amazing fixture. They played a certain way against Man City that I don't think they're going to play against Leeds. I do think Fulham have got a very good chance of a clean sheet. But if Leeds are scoring, where's it going to come from? It's going to come from Rafinha. It's going to come from Bamford. So Rafinha is one of the players I want to keep. DCL, up front, he's going. He's going to go. So we won't talk about him. Watkins, he's going to stay. Just, I mean, I don't know how much I expect from Watkins. It was nice to see him almost get a goal last game week, but it wasn't quite to happen, was it? An assist, I guess, is okay. It's a return. But, you know, Spurs don't keep too many clean sheets. They don't actually, you know, they don't keep too many clean sheets. And I know Aston Villa haven't got that creativity. We still don't know whether Grealish is going to be back. If Grealish is going to be back, then you could easily see Grealish and Watkins combining and, you know, maybe Watkins getting a goal or an assist against Spurs. It's a home game. Spurs do concede chances, a lot of chances. We saw how many chances they conceded against Arsenal last game week, for example. So it could happen, and there may be goals there. But again, I'm not massively confident. And we're going to round it off with Bamford. Bamford has got the plain, non-spicy Dorito of death on him, but I really feel quite confident, and Bielsa's kind of said that he feels confident as well, the Leeds manager. He feels quite confident that Bamford, although he's in a little bit of a pain, the injury was a hip injury, he's got a bit of a sore hip, but he will most likely be able to play. So guys, hold on to Bamford. You're going to want him for this game week, but you're also going to want him for next game week 30, where Leeds play Sheffield United. So really, really important that you try your best to keep Bamford. If you can resist selling him, try and resist, guys, honestly. But yeah, as you can see, these kind of fixtures are not amazing. You know, Son against Aston Villa, Leeds players against Fulham, Aston Villa against Spurs. These are not necessarily really good attacking fixtures. So like I keep saying, I don't think this is going to be a huge scoring game week. So any points I can get would be good. So we're going to make 3 transfers, like I say. I've got 2 in the bank, so I'm going to take a -4. And the thinking is, I've got to take out 3 players and replace them with 3 other players that I think will do really well over the combined game weeks of game week 29 and game week 30. 31 onwards, I don't have to worry about because I'm wildcarding in game week 31. Now, it's pretty easy to actually do this because a lot of the players who have fixtures in game week 29 have actually really nice fixtures in game week 30. So, the 3 worst defences in the league right now, based on stats, are Sheffield United at the bottom, Newcastle second worst, and Wolves the third worst. Well, Leeds play Sheffield United next game week and have a game week this game week. Spurs have a fixture this game week and play against Newcastle next game week. And finally, I've forgotten what my third team is. What I said, Leeds. And West Ham. Right, West Ham is the other one that's really interesting to me. They have a fixture this game week and they play against Wolves next game week. So those are the 3 teams that I want to be targeting on this, I guess, 2-week punt type thing. And I've got to take out 3 players that I don't think are going to score as much as those players. And because I'm taking a -4, I need these players to outperform them by a little bit. By at least a little bit. Particularly on my 3rd transfer, which is the least essential one. But let's throw them up on screen, guys. So let me show you exactly what I'm going to be doing. So, it's DCL out. It's Salah out, and it's me out. And I'm bringing in Kane, Lingard, and Dallas. So you can see I've got those 3 teams who I think have the best fixtures over the next 2 games covered there. So we've got Kane, fixture against Aston Villa, kind of probably the most essential player of this game week. I would not feel comfortable going into game week 29 without Kane, just because he's the only real premium player who is even playing in this game week. The other premium players playing in this game week are sort of Aubameyang and Bale. If you count Bale as a premium, those are the only 2 others, and Kane is the standout amongst those 3 for sure. So I wouldn't feel confident going into this game without him, so I'm absolutely going to go into this game week with him. Lingard against Arsenal, it's not an amazing fixture, but I do really like the look of Lingard's underlying stats. They look phenomenal, like absolutely insane. So really, really insane there. I really like Lingard as a player. I think he would probably quite like to do something against Arsenal. And West Ham are in such fabulous form, and I just want a player from West Ham really over the next 2 game weeks. I really do. So that's exactly what I've done. And then Dallas tripled up now on Leeds, not just for this fixture against Fulham. And Fulham is a good fixture from a, for a defender. When we talk about Fulham this game week and Sheffield United next game week, these are 2 of the worst attacks in the league. So although Leeds not particularly known for their clean sheets, they do keep the odd clean sheet. We've kind of seen 2 clean sheets in the last 5 game weeks, for example. So they do keep clean sheets. And when we're talking about Sheffield United and Fulham over the next 2 game weeks, there's just some good opportunities for clean sheets there. And also with Dallas, because he often plays in midfield, or even when he's playing as a fullback, he does push on, he does push up the pitch, and he is quite good at getting the odd goal. Much to my surprise, I thought Ayling might be a more prominent guy, but it actually turns out Dallas, as we come through the season, we've learned that Dallas actually, wow, we've got a bit of a player here. So that's going to be nice for potential goal contributions against Sheffield United next game week as well. So I really do feel like Dallas is going to massively outscore Ben Mee, and it's going to mean that I don't have to play Brighton defenders, my 2 Brighton defenders, next game week against Manchester United, because I'd rather not do that. It means I can play Cancelo, Digne and Dallas in game week 30, and I feel pretty comfortable doing that. So that is kind of my thinking in that respect. So these 3 players come into this team, and I feel like they really improve this team. It gives me 10 players. Really, it's 9 players if we're discounting Son, which I think we should. So that gives me 9 players to play in game week 29. I feel like the average this game week is probably going to be 8 players, maybe for my level, maybe 7 players at a slightly lower level, but it's going to be between 7 and 8 players I think people are going to have for this game week. Then maybe people start taking hits, and never know what's going to happen. I do feel like we're taking hits, and I know I have taken a hit here. It is kind of situational. There's no one size fits all. Some of you might be wondering, how many hits should I take? There's no real answer that fits everyone. I feel like I should take a hit. My hit really is Ben Mee to Dallas. And that's because over 2 game weeks, I feel like Dallas is going to outscore Ben Mee by more than 4 points. And it really is as simple as that as to why I'm thinking that. If I'm sort of taking risks on, actually, I'm bringing in a player, but you know what? I actually have someone else who I'd rather play next game week anyway. Perhaps you've got some options next game week that actually got a good game week next game week, but you're taking them out and taking a hit, and the player you're replacing them with, because it's not really a standout game week where a lot of players are going to get 2 pointers, then you're essentially taking a -2, and that's essentially like losing a player. So it's difficult. It is a difficult one, and there's no one size fits all. So try and judge it yourself. I guess I've judged it myself, and I feel like for me personally, the hit is the correct decision to make. Plus, it's there's that little element of risk which I think we've got to do. We've got to try and progress our team as much as we can to try and go up the ranks, as I keep trying to do. So yeah, that's kind of the situation I'm in, and I think this team is going to have more than the average amount of players. 2, it's hitting on most of the most desirable players of the game week. So the most desirable players of the game week are going to be Dunk, Dallas, Lingard, Kane, Rafinha, maybe Bamford. Probably people don't realise how desirable Bamford is because people do have the impression that he might be injured. He is going to play. I really do think he is going to play. So I do not only have enough players, but I have the right players as well for this game week. Going to be nice for them guys to play in Game Week 30 as well, because they still got good Game Week 30 fixtures. And then in Game Week 31, we'll start afresh. We'll start afresh with a new squad. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good position right now, to be honest. But, maybe you feel slightly differently. Please do let me know in the comments. Let's do quick captaincy. Kane is just the standout captain, isn't he? If you fancy a differential, you're taking a huge risk, because I feel like everyone's going to be captaining Kane, and rightfully so. Like I said, he's the only safe one, kind of premium option that you'd actually be confident in. We worry a little bit about Aubameyang's play time, and then the West Ham fixture is not exactly an easy fixture either. We're talking about sort of Bale, yeah, he's been doing really well, but not Harry Kane well. So we worry about that. You know, Bale, obviously his minutes are a little bit more limited as well. Maybe it gets subbed off early. Kane plays every single match, probably going to play 90 minutes. Kane on set pieces and stuff like that. So it makes him a much more desirable, you know, penalties and stuff like that. So that's really nice for Kane as well. Vice captain, I'm going to stick on Dunk because I genuinely do feel like when I look at all of the players who are playing in this game week, Lewis Dunk has got to be up there. You know, if he gets a clean sheet and a goal, man, we're talking big scores now, aren't we? We really are talking some quite nice scores. So I do think Lewis Dunk has got some potential this game week. Realistically, Kane's going to play, so the captain's never going to switch over to Dunk. But just to demonstrate that, you know, I do have a bit of confidence in Dunk, we're going to slap the vice captain on him. So there you go, guys. So thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe if you're new around here, and maybe leave a comment. Tell me what you think of my team. How do you think these transfers are going to pan out, and how are you doing? How are you guys set up for Game Week 29? I'd be quite interested to know how many players have you got playing. Have you got the right players, do you feel, as well? If you want to check out OneFootball, the link is at the top of my description. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, join my mini league, or maybe support the channel, all those links are in the description. And aside from that, guys, I'm going to share with you a free hit template draft video tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit more about the best options for Game Week 29, just in case you're still considering your transfers or you are actually playing a free hit. Hopefully I can help you out a little bit there. But aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later, mates. Bye-bye.